Hi, I'm Peter from Coffee Parts, and today we're looking at the Eagle One Prima with André Eiermann, who we're lucky enough to have from part of the VA team in Italy. First things first, let's make a coffee and then we can dive into this machine.
Awesome. One for you, one for me. Let's go.
I really do love the look of this machine. One for you.
Thank you.
One for me. Cheers.
Cheers.
Not bad.
Tasty.
Tasty, I like it.
Delicious, sweet, juicy, lingering.
Now, the machine's beautiful. There's plenty of reviews online that will talk about the specs, the boiler size, the elements, the steam switches, how they fly by wire. But more importantly, I want to hear from you. You were there when they designed the machine, when they built the machine, through all the choices. Explain to me how this machine came about and what makes it special in your heart.
Love to do that. I went to Italy and suddenly it was Fabio and Marco. They clapped on my shoulder and invited me into a tiny little room where they normally work on the prototypes. And I was quite surprised when I saw literally a two-group Eagle One cut in half, pushed together, and that was how this Eagle One Prima was born.
So that was the birth. They literally started with the commercial machine that's very well regarded, and they chopped it and go, we're going to make a small version.
Yes, absolutely. Fabio has been working in design, architecture, furniture for all his life. So he really has this passion for details, design, aesthetics.
I can see the details here, like this little things like this, and the feet really remind me of like watches and like that kind of very specific, very attention to detail. This is something that I noticed earlier, sorry to interrupt.
And the one thing that allowed us to do that and to make a very compact machine was the new engine called Neo, which is an instant heating technology that is small in size, but also very efficient when it comes to electricity.
And that's what's in the group head, right?
Absolutely. So we have the group head here, PID controlled. Then we have this Neo engine here in the back. It's maybe the size of a Red Bull can, also PID controlled. These two together are separate from the steam boiler. Yep. The steam boiler, of course, responsible for the hot water as well as the steam, but they are not connected to each other. Okay. So here, two PIDs for the hot water, instant heating, Neo, and here you will have the boiler for the steam and the hot water.
So this allows for ultimately really good temperature stability, and this temperature is all controlled via the app, is that right?
Yes, so you have two options to operate the Eagle One Prima. For no big fuss, you can just use the three buttons and the programming via the group head. You can choose first of all the temperature. Yep. You can go into the menu and program your doses. Yep. And of course you can do the automatic cleaning runs. Okay. And that goes without any app. Yep. So the basic functions you can use without having an app. Once you want to go a step further, you pretty much can jump into a rabbit hole. Yeah. The machine is fully digitally integrated, so you can run it via the app and you can really go deep until you can profile the tiniest little detail of your espresso shots. You can create an espresso menu card with all the taste descriptors, taste balance, sweetness, acidity, the bitterness. You can talk about flavors, you can make a flavor wheel, and then at the end you can also talk about tactile, so body, mouthfeel, the finish. And if you like, you can share that in a cloud with the global coffee community.
That's really cool. One thing that, like when we were talking earlier, that really struck a chord with me is not only can you control that from a coffee side, but also from a sustainability side. They've worked on creating like the purge really short to save on water filters, etc. Can you talk a bit more about that? Because sustainability is something that's always been passionate, like my heart and the way we run coffee parts, to be fair. But it's something that I'm impressed to see machines kind of consider.
One of the core values of Victoria Arduino is sustainability. So when we look at creating a new machine, already before we start looking at creating it, we already have in mind there will be a day that the machine will go out of life. So that's why how we choose the components. So we use stainless steel, we use aluminium, and we try to reduce plastic or materials similar to that to the absolute minimum. That is one thing. You mentioned the Auto Purge.
Yep.
So baristas, they know they need to purge the shower screen after each shot.
Yep.
First of all, to keep the machine in a good working condition, but secondly also to make sure all shots are super tasty.
Yep.
Once you take the portafilter out, you can program for how many seconds you want to have a delay, and then the shower screen will shower or rinse automatically, and the presetting is 1 second delay and 2 seconds flushing.
Yeah.
And we are thinking about the 2 seconds because 1 second wouldn't be long enough to properly clean the shower screen. 3 seconds would already be too much. And looking at the purging, if you purge, for example, for 10 seconds, you will purge with water for 10 seconds that needed to run through a filter, that needed to be heated up to the desired temperature, so you're actually wasting resources.
Yeah, and in a country like Australia that there has been droughts, and I mean, water is a precious resource. It's nice to start thinking about ways to like just use technology to bring that down. Because a lot of times I see a barista hit it, kind of walk away and do other things, which is cool, but there is a lot of wastage, like in all those touch points, like you said, the water filter, the temperature or the energy from heating up that water. So it's just wasting a lot. So I thought that was really cool, a simple thing, but cool.
That's also why we integrated the Neo engine. It's really instant heating, a tiny little small boiler, still saturated in PID control, but you literally heat the water at the moment when you need it for an extraction, and you don't just heat the water in a big boiler the entire day long.
That's really cool. And now, moving from coffee to steam, what was the choice behind going from a valve to a solenoid operated, or some people call it fly-by-wire, where you just tapping effectively a switch to activate the steam in the hot water? Was that a design, or was that ergonomics, or?
Several reasons. For sure, ergonomics is important. That's again the technology that we developed for professional baristas in cafes that keep texturing milk non-stop.
Yep.
So instead of turning a knob, you just tip to start or to purge, tip again to stop. So the impact on your body is absolutely minimal.
Yeah.
From a maintenance point of view, it's super easy to maintain. It's a solenoid valve, so there is no maintenance involved. Therefore, that makes it easy for technicians, and there is also no service to be done on that.
For those who aren't technically minded, the solenoid valve is basically an electronic tap. When it gets current, pulls a piston, opens, closes. So very, very simple, and they really don't fail all that much. So it's pretty cool that you've done it. I know it's not the first machine to do it, but I do like, not only from a look perspective, but like you said, the ergonomics of it actually just works well.
It comes in aluminium. So it's a material or is a part made of one single material. It is light. So also we had in mind when we develop a machine, the machine will be built by hand in Italy and then it will be shipped. So we want to build machines that are built to last, but also they are light. So in terms of transportation, we can reduce the CO2 emissions.
To be honest, I hadn't thought about that, but it's really cool. I always think sometimes there's a bit too much room in the boxes of machines. you're taking up more cube volume, generally in sea freight, but you're taking up more cube. I do like when there isn't excessive packaging, but still protects the machine. But yeah, the lightness of it does make sense as well from again, ships burn fuel, right?
The machine itself, when you lift it up, I mean, it's heavy. You can really feel there are solid parts built into it when you would lift the group head.
Still a commercial machine built for home. Like everything on this machine is commercial.
Yeah, absolutely.
One thing I've seen online is people have mentioned that the water tank's quite small, but I assume a lot of people that would be buying this machine would be plumbing it in, so that's probably a non-issue. And it feels like a machine for really espresso passionate people, so they're probably not going to be pulling that much water anyway. Was that part of the design?
You can use the machine either running it from the tank, but there comes a kit with every machine, so you can switch easily from tank to plumb it in, or vice versa.
And I think many would probably, on this machine, would probably be plumbing it in.
Yeah, that's what we have seen here in Australia. And you mentioned you think it's made to pull delicious espresso shots or black coffee, but I can tell you we worked a lot on the steam, because nevertheless the majority loves flat white, lattes, cappuccinos. So we worked a lot on the steam. This machine comes with a steam pressure that is set at 2.2 bars.
Yep.
So that is higher
and
compared to...
obviously fully controlled by the app.
Absolutely. You can control it by the app, and that will give you a super dry steam.
Yep.
So we'll get beautiful textured milk that's super creamy, that's super sweet. And all the people we had in the lab working on it for the first time, they were truly amazed by the quality of the textured milk.
One thing, going back to the design, that I like about this machine is, depending on your kitchen, it can sit beautifully against the wall. It does have, from the barista side, a beautiful finish, which I've just mentioned, tiny details. But if you were to have it in an island, I do like that the flip side of it too is not just a box. It does look good. You've got the lighting in it. Like, it does really look good from whichever angle. And I think that's cool, not only if you're putting in an island in the kitchen against a wall or in a coffee cart. They really considered it visually from multiple angles, and I'm just starting to fall in love more and more with this machine.
It's a beautiful machine. Here we have it in matte black in the back. There's a LED light bar. You can switch that on or off from your app, and it just makes it stand out even more, either from a coffee cart or from your island kitchen.
And if someone did want to, obviously it comes in multiple colors, but if they did want a personalized color, pulling these panels apart, I believe it's only a couple screws on top, and the panels come out, and you can go powder coat it, paint it, do whatever floats your boat.
Very easy. There are 4 screws up here. You lift away the top, and then open up another 2 screws, and you take off the side panels, you take off the back panels. The Eagle One Prima is really designed to be customized, and you can color it in any color you wish. I heard you like green, so
I'm having a bit of a green moment, and I think, you know, 6 months time it might be yellow, but I do like that I can just send it off to the painters and still have fundamentally the same machine. Grinders are a little bit more of a pain to paint, but the machines, it's just nice to be able to change up and keep the house fresh, you know, winter, summer colors, and I'd probably do black for winter and then go fresh color for summer.
That would be awesome. Also, when you look at all the details, the portafilter handle comes in a leather, so that really gives you a nice touch and feel when you pull your espresso shots in the morning.
I think a cool thing to do is, we've looked at the machine, but really what makes this machine great is not just the build of the machine, but how deep you went into the app. So I think it'll be cool to go through the app and kind of just have a look at what makes the app special and how that controls the machine. So let's take a look at the app now and how the app works with the coffee machine.
So first I will connect the app via Bluetooth to the machine. We can have a look at the display, and then here on the display we see the set temperature, the last shot time, 31 seconds, the pump pressure. We will see the real time reading once we start the extraction, and you also see the 2.2 bars in the steam boiler. Let's make coffee.
Yep.
Once we start the extraction, you see the shot timer starts, and the pump is going up to the desired setting, and we are pulling our tasty looking espresso shot while being able to monitor what's happening inside the machine via the display.
So the app is actually huge. So we've just ran this shot, all the details are up on the app. What we're gonna do is we'll have a full video on the app, which we'll do it as a separate video, so you can watch the full, probably about 15-20 minute video in depth from the app. But for now, we just ran that shot, we've got the details on that shot, and it's just cool to be able to see how the machine's correlating with the app and what can be seen. Thank you for watching this video on the Eagle One Prima, and thank you to Andre for being here. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up. If you have any questions, hit us up in the comments. Thank you again, and last but not least, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Thank you.